Simon, good evening. Thank you for your time. So the anticipation is building up. It's 5 weeks before the big elections. Tonight, we're hearing from these two White House candidates. How have they been readying themselves for the big night?
Well, they have just spent the last few hours almost trying to psych each other out, Clement. We've had some extraordinary shenanigans here so far today. The White House at the last minute suddenly insisting that before the debate begins, they want both candidates, if you can believe this, to have their ears inspected because they believe, they claim, that Joe Biden plans to use some kind of a listening device so that people behind the scenes will whisper the answers to him to some of the questions. I mean, absolute nonsense, but a further intimation by President Trump that Joe Biden is too old, too slow, isn't in a position to become America's next president. The Biden campaign has told the White House to get lost on that particular issue, but the Biden campaign has come in with a last-minute request of its own, suggesting that instead of having a 90-minute commercial-free conversation, perhaps there should be breaks every 30 minutes. That's not going to happen. This has always been envisioned as a non-stop 90-minute, 6-segment debate between these two men. I think it's important, Clement, to remember that there will be a third man on the stage, and that's the moderator of this debate, Chris Wallace from the Fox News Channel, a man who, even though he comes from the Fox News Channel, has shown no hesitation in the past to confront President Trump and to fact-check him. And in many ways, his role might be the most complicated of the night tonight, trying to police what is going to be an electrifying standoff between these two candidates.
Yeah, no, it does sound like it's going to be electrifying. I mean, listening to what the Trump administration is saying there about ears being checked, I'm sure Nancy Pelosi is looking at Joe Biden and saying, I told you not to take part in this. Let's talk about the issues that are going to be up for debate. Obviously, there's an array of issues here, the coronavirus pandemic and how it's been handled. We now know about President Donald Trump's tax records, the protests for racial justice, and. What issues are up for debate here? What can we expect?
Well, look, I think there are two new issues that are suddenly up for debate, and one, of course, is following the death of Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, the president's determination to try and place a conservative-leaning replacement onto the Supreme Court. He unveiled his choice over the weekend. The Democrats insist it is much too late in the day for the president to be trying to do this. Joe Biden, I think, is going to hammer away at that, even though it's pre-cooked. Confirmation hearings for that justice nominee will get underway in the middle of October. But then there's taxes, taxes, taxes. And just within the last hour or so, Joe Biden and his running mate Senator Kamala Harris have released their 2019 income tax returns. That is a clear slap in the face to President Donald Trump following the publication by the New York Times of 20 years of data showing that he's paid hardly any income tax over the last 2 decades. Even though taxes are not listed as a subject for this first debate, you can be absolutely certain Joe Biden is going to take the conversation there just as quickly as he can.
Is there any significance to the debate being held in Cleveland, Ohio? Because that has been a swing state from my understanding, and that's over the past 2 decades or so. But Trump won it in 2016. Is there any significance to this debate taking place there?
Well, it's interesting. It wasn't supposed to be taking place in Cleveland. Initially, we all thought this debate was going to take place at the University of Notre Dame in Indiana, but they pulled out because of COVID-19, saying that they didn't think that they could host a COVID-safe event. So about 3 months ago, there was a mad scramble behind the scenes to find another venue, at which point Case Western University and the Cleveland Clinic in Ohio put their names in the hat and said, OK, we'll do it. Now, you're absolutely right. Ohio is a crucial swing state. And that does get us to the real heart of what's going to happen here tonight. At the end of the day, when all the sparring is over, there's only one thing that matters. has either of these men, President Trump or Joe Biden, successfully persuaded undecided voters in swing states like Ohio to back them? The polling in this race hasn't moved for 11 weeks. Joe Biden has a pretty commanding lead nationally. Donald Trump has got to turn that around, and he's got to hope that that turnaround begins tonight in Ohio.
All right. Simon Marks, thank you so much for your time. It's really going to be an intriguing debate this evening. If you want to watch it, you may want to stay in because it will be playing at around 3 a.m. our time.